Hey guys!
Hi guys!
So it's almost Christmas, and the most important thing that you have to do during Christmas is make cookies for Santa.
Yeah, and I'm really excited. We have something special planned for you guys today, and we're going to make what?
We're gonna make Funko Pop Christmas cookies.
Oh my god, I'm so excited. We have a stencil for quite a few different pops, and I can't wait to show them to you guys.
Look at these guys. How awesome are these gonna be? We have all kinds, and we're gonna take you through the process of how to make these cookies for Santa so you can get all these awesome toys from him, because we don't want Cole. Cole's horrible.
Right.
So if you were a bad kid, make him good cookies, and then he might give you the good toys and you'll get on that good list instead. So it might be a good way to make up for it. Okay, so this is actually going to be a sugar cookie, so we're going to start out with a basic sugar cookie mix. This is the Pillsbury we got at Walmart, so you can get this any brand of a Pillsbury, anything, sugar cookie will work for you.
Yeah, absolutely. We were kind of lazy, so we just bought something that was pre-made and save time.
Yeah, this is the bigger king size of it, so
yeah.
Let's cut it into this bad boy.
Okay, now that we have our cookie dough out of the package, basically what we have to do is we have to roll it flat so that we can put our stencils over top of it to cut it out to bake it. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to kind of smash this together and smash it down a little bit with my hands so that it's easier to roll. Okay, so I'm going to roll this out on wax paper. If you don't have wax paper, you can get it at Walmart, the dollar store, just pretty much anywhere. Or you can roll it on your counter if it's clean enough. I mean, it's up to you entirely. If you don't have a silicone rolling pin like we have, you probably want to put a little bit of flour on it so that your dough doesn't stick to it. It's basically up to you, whichever kind of pin you have. Okay, so now we have the dough rolled out and it's nice and flat. If it gets a little sticky for you, just add a little bit of flour and that should help with the stickiness. We have the stencils ready. We're going to do Batman, Elsa, and Anna. If you want these stencils, we're going to have them available on our Facebook. The link will be in the description below, so check that out.
Alright, well, with the power of YouTube, you didn't have to wait those 25 minutes that it took us to cut these bad boys out.
You might want to cut these out ahead of time. So do you spot any of these Funko Pop cookies that you may recognize? So when you finish rolling this, you're going to want to put this in the freezer to harden it just a little bit because the dough gets too soft to work with and it'll tear while you're cutting. And then after you put it in the freezer for maybe about 5 minutes or so, you're going to want to transfer this to a cutting board.
Yes, because we are going to be tracing around these with an X-Acto knife or a kitchen knife. It's kind of up to you. It really depends on how comfortable you are with whatever you're working with. So, we have 6 more of these things to do, and they are going to look awesome, hopefully. So what you want to do is you just want to take these trace outs and just kind of rub them in there until the grease or the water on the cookie dough kind of starts to seep through, and that'll make sure that it sticks to the dough, so when we go to cut these, they won't slide around, and our Ninja Turtle will end up looking like a toad. Okay guys, they're all on there, so while we trace these, this dough will soften, so you might have to put it in the freezer every once in a while just to keep it cuttable. So, let's do this! Okay, so we threw them back in the freezer. The cutout is done. Now what you have to do is you have to trace around everything that you want to get rid of. So basically what that entails is just taking a knife or a spoon or whatever you want to do and just peel away. Alrighty, so our cookies are all cut out. Now what you need to do is, since we're on a cutting board, we need to figure out how to get this back on the cookie sheet. But the problem is, when you cut these, they get pretty close. It's a pretty tight squeeze, and anybody that cooks cookies knows that when they flatten, they will get bigger and expand. So we need to separate these things. So what we're going to do is we're going to take this paper and we're going to take our X-Acto knife or whatever knife you have, and you're just going to trace around it. That way you can make these things separate little pieces of awesomeness. there's one. They're all cut out, they're all put on the cookie sheet, and now ready to bake these things.
So what you're gonna do is you're gonna bake them at 350 for, the package says in between 10 and 12 minutes. We're gonna start checking them at about 8 minutes just to be safe, because we really don't want these to burn because it's a lot of effort to get to this point.
There's a lot of delicate little pieces on these things, so you'll probably, like she said, you'll probably want to watch these things carefully. And as you can see, we didn't cut these things out perfectly by no means,
No.
so we don't know how it's gonna turn out, so we'll find out.
At least we're gonna have some good cookies.
Okay, so here's how they turned out once they were taken out of the oven. As you can tell, they did lose a lot of their shape, but the basic shape is still there. From what we understand, if you use gingerbread cookie, which we do not like, and that's why we just chose not to get it, it won't rise and spread out as much. However, I think the shapes that these actually came out will still be okay. I think you will still get the idea that they're Funko Pop cookies, and they're gonna look really awesome. So we just took them off the wax paper, and then we just have them on kind of a cooling rack. And then once they cool down, we're gonna start painting these bad boys with icing. Okay guys, so here's what you're gonna do. When you want to put icing on these, you're gonna need, really, you can't buy every single color of icing because that'd be dang near impossible. So what we did was just bought basic icing, just whipped fluff white icing, and we bought a bunch of food colorings from the store, which you can get any of these little food coloring things. And of course we got green because we're starting to make our first green batch, and we just need to cut the tip of it off. Okay, so we didn't need to cut it off because it was already built in, so we're just gonna a couple droplets in there, and that should turn this thing green. There's 3. Let's see how that goes. Alright, I'd say that's probably going to do it.
Yeah, it's going to be plenty.
I think that ended up being about 15. And it still gives us kind of a light green, but that's okay. Okay, we got our green icing mixed, and this is going to be the Ninja Turtle, so we're just going to drop a glob of green on him, and then we're just going to spread them in. Okay, so we just set the turtle aside so that icing hardens. Up next we're working on Dancing Groot. Now we're going to work on his pot because the bottom of his pot's white. So we can basically just take the icing that we have and clean that thing up. Okay, so there's the bottom of his pot. Up next we are working on Olaf. So that was Olaf kind of. You can kind of tell it looks like Olaf. So we're just going to turn him white.
You get a little deformed, but that's okay.
Okay, so that's Olaf, I guess. Up next, we're working on Stitch, so we've mixed a blue, and we're going to clop that thing on there and turn this guy blue. Alright, so we've mixed gray, and then we're going to start working on Batman. And I think after this, we're just going to roll through, and then you'll pretty much see a finished product. What you got to do is just kind of, you don't have to really take your time, because these things don't have to be perfect. They're just Santa cookies. He doesn't really care what they look like. He just cares what they taste like. So, well, let's do it. Okay, well, here is 7 of the 11 that we originally planned.
Yeah.
They didn't turn out as amazing as we thought, but they were fun, and they don't look that bad, all things considered.
No. I think they look pretty good. I mean, it took us a lot longer than we had expected, but that's okay.
Yeah, I think Harley Quinn turned out pretty nice, and
yeah, I think she's beautiful.
And, you know, so it's pretty cool. Okay, well, there is the Funko Pop Christmas cookies for Santa. So hopefully they'll be better than the regular old gingerbread cookie. And if you're on Santa's naughty list, maybe this will help you get on the good list and you won't get cold.
I think they turned out pretty well considering that we were making all of everything by ourselves and all the coloring.
We are not chefs.
No, we're not. And I'm the least artistic person in the world, and that's not an exaggeration at all.
And we do not claim to be a cooking channel by any means.
No, we just thought this would be a lot of fun to do since most of you like pops and we love pops too, so we thought this would be fun. Why not have pop cookies for Santa?
So what did we learn when we made these cookies? I'll tell you a few things. First things first, gingerbread is probably the better way to go.
Probably better way to go.
Because with sugar cookie, once you put it in the oven, it expands, and then you really don't get the shape.
No, it kind of completely disappears and turns to a big glob of, who was that?
Yeah, who was that again?
So,
I think that was Green Lantern. We didn't have Green Lantern. Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
So that's what it happens. So maybe use gingerbread. We used Hershey Kisses for the eyeballs, which turned out to be pretty good. That's white chocolate and dark chocolate. We use just basic, the little coloring icing you can get at any store to do it. You gotta put it in the fridge a lot. We learned that.
Yeah. Well, we put it in the freezer a lot because we wanted to like flash cool it instead of waiting for a long time.
So we learned that. We learned that that's a hard job.
Yeah, for all the bakers out there, thank you for what you do because I am not that good at this.
No, this was hard, but it's cool, and I think my favorite was obviously Batman. I like Batman. So.
I really liked the Harley Quinn. She broke, so she's kind of in half, but hey. I mean,
there's something about eating black icing that freaks me out.
It turns your lips black and your teeth black and your tongue black.
So there you have it. We're done with this video. Probably never to return to cookie baking again because this was a travesty of all travesties.
Not this many different ones, maybe 2 or 3 would have been easier to tackle.
So if you have any better ideas out there how to make these, go with that idea. Just try hard, that's all that matters.
That's right. Improv, do what you need to do to make it better than our experience.
Yeah, so, alright guys, Merry Christmas. I hope you get everything you want, and we'll see you next video.
Thanks guys.
Bye.
Bye.